interview series. I am your host, Stephen the Dream, and this is the CIAA edition. So, we had to bring out all the stars in the city, man. I told y'all, when people come to this city, they're going to find out who they need to come to for everything. I ain't just talking music, I ain't just talking business and parties, I'm talking health. And in this case, I brought out my guy, Fit Rob, in the building. What's good with you, man?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Nice to have you here, man.
It's good to be here.
I'm asking everybody right off the gate, from the jump, what are your plans for CIAA if you have any, and do you have a favorite CIAA moment?
Well, probably to start off with, what I'm doing is a bunch of marketing, just networking, meeting new people, everybody
Okay.
that's came to the city. I say my favorite memory from CIAA was probably like 4 years ago. Me and one of my partners was headed out. We got lost trying to find the events. So we spent maybe 45 minutes actually trying to get to the action.
That's the worst.
Yeah, but actually we got there. It was historic after we got there, though.
Okay, so it was a movie.
It was a movie.
That's what's up.
Live.
CIAA can create the moment sometimes, but every CIAA for whatever reason it's been raining, man. Like yesterday, the
Yeah.
weather was terrible. It was terrible. I don't know if people enjoyed themselves or not, but hopefully it holds up. But like I said, man, I'm glad to have you here, Rob. Rob, you are a personal trainer.
Yes, sir.
How long you been doing personal training?
I've been in it for like 4 or 5 years, but consistently, like mentoring and training people for like the last 2.
Okay. Why did you decide to get into that?
Well, it was a transition because originally I was just in it for myself and I just wanted to look better.
Okay.
But the deeper you get into it, you realize that there's a nutrition aspect to it too. Take care of your nutrition. It makes it easier for you to look better when you're doing your weight, so the two go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And the reason I wanted you up here as well because not only to promote your brand, but I know we can use this as a teaching lesson for a lot of
Exactly.
people. And when we got these opportunities, we got to understand that our health is very important.
Right.
You said you did it for your physical looks, but was it ever something that you just wanted to feel better as well, or did you always
Yeah.
feel okay, or tell me the difference in how you feel?
Well, I think the feeling, because I didn't feel horrible when I was overweight. So when I started, I was about, my heaviest, I was 250 pounds.
Okay.
So in my mind, I still look the 180 that I was
Okay.
before.
Okay.
But what it takes real people to be around you to tell you, hey man, you done slowed up. And this is like the defining moment of when I was like, I gotta stay on it.
Okay.
I went to the park, went to Harris Street. I was balling with everybody.
Okay. Shout out to Harris
Shout out to
Street.
my boy Hakeem, because this is his story right here.
Okay.
So Flash Marino, if y'all know him.
Shout out to Flash Marino.
So I was out there playing ball, right? And I'm still thinking my moves is all crisp and stuff. I'm thinking I'm crossing people up. I'm going to the hoop. So game of 21, I scored like 4 or 5, so I'm feeling all right. I get to the sidelines. My mans came up to me. He's like, yo, you getting fat as hell, bro. The moves ain't where it was at. Because in my mind, I'm still laying it up. I'm nice.
You thought you doing your thing.
Thought I
right
was
there.
nice, but that's what cemented it, because I was already in the process of trying to put everything in line to get me to where I needed to be. But
Okay.
hearing that is what gave me the focus to stay on where I needed to be.
Oh wow. So it really took reality to set in for you to like.
To just slap you in the face, you gotta get the real.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So how does that go into like your motivation? Like, do you ever think about that moment and were you using that as motivation, or was it just at that moment you realized like, all right, let's go? And if that wasn't the motivation, what is your motivation to
I think
stay fit?
motivation, the original motivation was using the the weight gain as a thing to catapult you into something different. So you run into a lot of different people. Like usually when you go to like the grocery stores or when people are coming home from college and stuff, you see a lot of your friends you haven't seen in a while. And every interaction I was getting, it was like, oh man, you done got big, you done got this. Because people remember you of how they want you to look the same way they remembered you as.
Right.
So automatically the first thing that comes into somebody's head is they look at your appearance. Like if you're accustomed to seeing somebody dress a certain way, if you see them out bummy, that's just like with celebrities. People pay attention to somebody when they dress bummy, when your
Facts,
expectations
facts.
are really high of that person.
That's true.
So that was the fuel originally. It's like, I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. I know I can do it. And it kept burning me. But then eventually it got to the point where everybody's seeing you at a certain level. Now they expect for you to maintain it. So
Right,
now
right.
I use it as a different kind of motivation. It's
true.
like I want to maintain. I don't want to fall off.
Okay, that's Wow, that's a great way to switch that because yeah, it does go from
Right.
to become a different motivation because you can clearly see the
Made it.
gains that you
Right.
made, but now it's like you don't want to, you can't go back.
Right, you can't become
can't go
complacent
back.
with it.
Okay, Fit Rob in the building with us. This then the third interview series. I want to ask you. You talked about people had a expectation of you before. Were you like an athlete before? Did you ever play sports? Like, what did you do before to have people noticing that you were bigger? You know?
Well, when I was in school, I was extremely lazy. Like I wanted to do the exact bare minimum to get by. That's with grades, that's with athletics, that's with anything. And I think a lot of us do that out of a fear of failure. Because if you put all of your efforts into something and it doesn't come out the way you want it to, it brings you down. So you can use a cop out by saying, hey, I didn't give it my all. So if I would have tried harder, I could have did better. Because you assume that with more effort you would do better, but you don't actually know because you didn't put action behind the words.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, as a person now how often do you work out now yourself?
When I first got into it, I went head first. I would do 6 days straight, and I'll be
Yeah, that's
spending
a lot.
2 and 3 hours in the gym because it's like I wanted it. And I figured if I wanted it that bad, I would commit all of my free time towards it. So I wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't going out. It would basically be like working, straight to the gym, go straight home.
Okay.
Every day.
Wow, that's a lot of dedication to building your body. I want to ask you. So now, as a personal trainer, what are some things that you encourage people that come to you seeking either transformations of their body, their health? What are some tips that you give them first and foremost that you can that's across the board that can help everybody?
Is that you got to love yourself coming into it. It's like you want to build a bigger and better version of yourself, but at the core, it's really important to have self-love. So if you're coming into it feeling like you want to look like a celebrity you've seen on TV or somebody you've seen on a magazine, you should put all that stuff aside. You should be trying to better yourself for yourself, not for anybody else.
Right. And are there ways that, because my thing is, like, I'll say this, in my life, it's been my diet, I think, the most. Because I've been active, but as a person who struggles on finding the right things to eat, what are some suggestions that you can give to people on that part of taking care of their body as well?
It's a process because my diet wasn't great beginning at all. Growing up a lot in the black communities, I mean, now people focus more on nutrition and stuff, but when we grew up, it was more like, hey, this is what you got to eat this right here.
Right.
It may not have the nutrition that you need, but it's going to fill your stomach up.
Right.
And a lot of our parents today still kind of use that same motto. It's like, hey, I'm just putting this out there so you can have something to eat so you never go to bed hungry. But the biggest thing is finding like little ways to phase things out. Like if you like sodas, if you drink maybe 5 or 6 sodas a day, cut it down to maybe like 2 to 3, and then you slowly can work something out of your diet. Just like with fried foods, that's the biggest thing. When people look at their diets, it's like the snacks get you, but it's also like the carbs and stuff that you eat that you assume are healthy that aren't really that healthy. For example, like white rice, consuming a lot of bread.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff, man. The stuff that makes you feel good, that grandma used to cook.
Yes.
It's like you want to keep it, but you got to let go some of it. Everything's in moderation.
Can I ask you, have you ever seen any examples, or do you know any examples of people who, like, health-wise may have lost their lives early or just may be in bad situations that you can attest to because they weren't healthy, whether it was active or their eating habits or just whatever it was?
I haven't lost anyone due to like health reasons, but one of my friends, shout out to Devontae Stokes, he passed last year, and I looked at it from the standpoint of this: you never know if tomorrow is promised or not, so you want to live your best life every day, and that includes taking care of your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. All of that plays a major part into everything.
Do you do all those? Do you help teach and coach all those things when people come to you for training?
Yeah, because I don't just look at myself as a trainer. I'm like a health coach. So whenever you're feeling low, I tell all of my clients that I have, it's like if you feel low, you feel like you can't do it, no matter what it is, no matter what time of the day it is, you always got somebody in your corner.
Right.
And having support is extremely important in these situations because most of the people that are overweight, not everybody, but some have really, really low self-esteem. So
Right.
you need somebody to constantly build you up to the point where you don't want to quit. And that's what my job is. So if somebody's saying, oh, I'm having issues with my diet today, I'm going to tell them, well, hey, you should do this and do that. Or if you've already done something that's bad, which everybody has those moments to where you're low, you just want to eat something just to get through. You didn't have time to cook.
Right.
I'm going to talk you through what we can do on the next meal to try to fix it.
Right. Fit Rob with us here, man. Tell them your information real quick. I got a couple more questions I want to ask you, but I want the people to know right now they can go live. We're live right now. This is the third interview series. Tell the people where they can go find you for these tips, these trainings, and this coaching that you're providing.
All right, you can find me on Instagram at fitrob_91. The same thing for my Facebook page. And if anybody has any questions or anything they want to go a little bit deeper into it, you can contact me directly on my cell. It's 704-201-6681.
Dope, man. Absolutely. I wanted to ask you, as far as like testimonies, like have you seen in the 2 years that you know, like you said, you've really been going, have you seen the transformation in people, and have they come back to you and thanked you? Like what kind of reception have you gotten from the trainers that you provided?
I've gotten a lot of good reception from all the people that I've trained. One of my most successful stories was a lady. She started out at 265 pounds. She could barely do any squats. She had terrible knees. She had a lot of back issues. She lost about 60 pounds.
Whoa,
And
60 pounds?
60 on them. She ended up moving, but she was always one of my favorite success stories because she never quit. She never had any excuses. She knew what the situation was, and she already knew that she wanted to improve herself and completely trust in the process of everything that I said. And that's one of the most important things to me is like when you come to me, you trust what I say, and it makes a huge difference in everything.
Absolutely. The other question I wanted to ask was about like supplements. Like is it tough for people to find the right things to take, or are people damaging their bodies by not doing the right research? Like just talk about like, do you like, is that something you encourage? Like what are your thoughts on those?
I definitely think you can hurt your body if you're not listening, but looking into the nutrition facts of everything that you take. Because a lot of the things, it's like most times people will take, let's say like a pre-workout or something, and some of the ingredients that are on the back of the list you can't even pronounce. So why would you want to put something in your body that you don't understand what it does to you besides giving you a pump? There's a lot of natural remedies that you can take to get pumps.
Okay.
You can green tea extract. Coffee is one. Because if you look at the nutrition facts on most pre-workouts, some of the main ingredients are going to be caffeine, which is in coffee. You can get that in tea. One of the other things is like green tea extract, or you have like B12, like they take the some of the nutrients from like berries and stuff. They take the stuff from natural things to put it into something else.
Okay.
So you can do all of that stuff on your own. But if you are going to take pre-workout, and I'm not going to say I don't take it, I do research on everything that I put in my body.
As you should. Well, I want to say or let the people know that, you know, part of this whole interview, I was supposed to get a workout in with you, man. So we'll definitely make sure we document that. But I want to ask you, like, what's your hardest workout? Like, when have you pushed yourself? Do you remember the time you pushed yourself to a limit, and what you may have been doing, or was it a lift or just something where you just took it there?
I think a while ago I was doing Hugh Jackman's workout for Wolverine, and I combined that with Henry Cavill's Superman workout.
Okay.
That was the most intense thing I've ever done.
Crazy.
And it's not even that the weights were extremely heavy. It was just the lifts that you had to do. You didn't have a whole lot of stopping time, so you always go.
You ain't going to put me through neither one of them, bitches.
I got to, man. But nah, these days, like, I create my own custom plans. I'm less focused on what other trainers are doing, and I focus more on my craft because I found a love for it myself from doing research and figuring out how certain movements affect certain parts of your body. So I like everything to be organic. I mean, you still may be influenced and get other ideas from other people and what they do, but I make everything my own.
Right.
So everything is custom.
I was about to call you. Fit Rob. I'm sorry. I know my man's from back in the day.
Way
so,
back.
you know. But I'm glad you came up here, man, and gave this knowledge. Let the people again know where they can find you, what areas you service, and just to make sure they got all the essential information so they know to get with you.
Yeah, so I'm servicing Rock Hill, Charlotte, Fort Mill. Once again, you can follow me on Instagram at fitrob_91. It's the same thing from my Facebook. And if you have any questions, you want to give me a call, maybe get like an appointment set up, it is 704-201-6681.
Good, man. That's what's up. Well, this, that, and the third interview series, CIAA edition. It's your boy, Steven the Dream. Fit Rob joining me here, man. I'm glad to have you. And we'll see you guys next time. We out.